What's the point in BJJ, man? And of course, the BJJ stands for Blind Judo Journey. This is going to be a really quick video on my approach to this channel, what my philosophy behind it is, and what I aim to get out of it. There are 3 things that I try and put out on this channel. I'm going to go through them really nice and quickly. The first one is pretty obvious. It's my Blind Judo Journey into international visually impaired judo. Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's about you seeing the documentation of a blind judoka going from not being, I'm not saying I'm not successful, but not being the top level, but going from the bottom all the way, hopefully, up to Paralympics and beyond, okay? Particularly on the road to Los Angeles, then obviously Brisbane will be after that, hopefully, depends on how my career goes, depends if I'm good enough, but the goal is to document that. So seeing what it's like for an athlete coming from the bottom, going all the way to the top and documenting that, I don't think there's many people who have done that, especially in the visually impaired space. The second thing I absolutely love about making these videos is I love coaching judo. I love showing my style of judo and interesting bits of judo, okay? I love Kano's philosophy about self-progression, what judo can mean to a lot of people and improving judo as a sport. I do think that a lot of judo coaching is very, very similar and has been done very, very similarly for the past 100 years. And I think me, as someone who's a bit younger, especially being visually impaired, I can bring a new spin on that. Not that there aren't really, really excellent coaches out there who've been doing judo much longer than I have, but I do think as a younger person, as a visually impaired person, I am able to bring a little bit of a unique spin on the coaching aspect of judo. And also, obviously, making YouTube videos for judo. I don't think there's any other visually impaired judo coaches making videos regularly. So it allows me to put that out there, put my own unique spin on it. It does mean we're in the modern world. Every now and then I have to make a controversial title, I have to make a controversial thumbnail, okay, to try and get clicks. But my philosophy on that is that if 10 times as many people watch the video because it had a bit of a controversial title, a bit of a controversial thumbnail, just an interesting topic, the content of the video, I still think, for the most part, is good quality and good information. So even though maybe I'll annoy 1 or 2 people because of the thumbnail and title, I think that if the audience for that video gets much bigger, gets 10x'd, then the overall benefit of that video is a positive, okay? So that's my philosophy on that. You'll also notice on my channel that I don't do a huge number of simple fundamentals tutorials, because I think that there's a lot of judo coaches who can do that to a very high level. A lot of them do it much better than me. I think for me personally, the thing that I'm good at is explaining a bit more contrived, a bit more interesting, a bit more out there pieces of judo, just showing you a couple of weird, interesting things that you can try and throw into your judo. Also, I think I'm pretty good at explaining myself. It's definitely something I'm still trying to work on. I do try and make my videos as accessible as possible to people who are not just visually impaired, but have other disabilities as well. So I do attempt to do that. If you have any feedback for me, I'd love to hear it in the comments. But I do love making content and making a bit more out there content that demonstrates cool judo to lots of people. Finally, the biggest thing about this channel for me on a personal level is I'm trying to inspire people to improve themselves. Okay, whether they be blind, whether they be visually impaired, or have any other disability or any other impairment or anything like that, okay? I'm trying to inspire people to improve themselves and to just do more, okay? That can be to go and do judo, that can be to go and do any other martial art, any other sports, okay? But the point I'm trying to get across is that you can do something. Okay? You definitely can do something. It might not be judo, it might not be BJJ, but you can do something. And one of my biggest philosophies, one of the things that I think got me to where I am today, is the idea that the world's not full of a lack of opportunities, the world is filled with a lack of people taking them, okay? So many people, there's opportunities they could take, whether they go to university, whether they go and take a job, whether they go even just go to a social gathering they might not normally go to, but they turn those down because they're difficult, scary, and these are things I've done, okay? I'm trying to make sure that people learn from not just my mistakes, but my experience, okay? I was planning on going to Sheffield University because I lived in Sheffield and it would have been the easy option because I would have been able to live with my parents. I wouldn't have had to go out into the big wide world, but I got the opportunity to go to Oxford, and that's an opportunity that I couldn't turn down, and it was one of the greatest things I ever did. It allowed me to become much more independent. It allowed me to get an incredible education, meet some incredible people, and also to start judo in Oxford Judo, in this dojo, a room that I've spent many, many hours in now. But that was all because I bit the bullet, took the plunge, jumped in and did something hard and scary, and you can do that as well, okay? I know so many people who are visually impaired, blind, disabled, who particularly in the working world struggle, and not just struggle like because of their visual impairment or their disability, but they're scared to go into a job. I had a really poor experience when I did my first job. It didn't work out that well, but I got a huge amount of learning from that, and now I absolutely love my job, okay? I used to work in an industry that wasn't particularly for me, it wasn't where I wanted to be with my life. I left that. I'm now a medical statistician, and that is literally my dream job. I get to do everything I want to, and that was because I took the plunge, I did something difficult, and I went, I wonder if I can do this, okay? And I did, and that's what I want to inspire you to go into, okay? Please, you can do something. I don't mind what it is, but you can do something. Please go out there and do it. Sorry, Matt.